Hi there! So today I'll be taking you through how to dress your baby for spring. This is such a beautiful time of year. It's starting to warm up, which is great, but the mornings and evenings can still be quite cool. So it's important to consider dress them in layers, with the rule of thumb being you dress them in 1 to 2 extra cotton thin layers than what you'd wear in that same environment, as they can't really regulate their own temperature very well for the first year of life. It's also a great idea to dress them in breathable natural fibres such as organic cotton, as this allows better temperature regulation for little ones, as well as being gentle on the delicate skin. Now to start off with, you can't go past a Growsuit for these trans-seasonal periods of time. So we've got this gorgeous little gender neutral Growsuit here, and this is footless, which is perfect for more longevity of use and great if you do have a warmer day. You have their feet out, which is also fantastic. We're looking for features and benefits that make that whole dressing and undressing process easy with all of these items I'm going to take you through today as well. So we're looking for access to the nappy, like snaps at the crutch. This has an envelope neckline for easy dressing and changing as well. And of course, if we don't have inbuilt feet, we need to think about putting booties on to keep little toes toasty and warm if it is a chilly day. And then of course adding mittens as well to protect them from scratching their own face, because they're often born with quite long fingernails, and also on those chilly days to keep their hands warm. Thinking about adding things like a beanie or a hat as well to keep little heads warm is really important too. And of course, always adding a bib to protect their gorgeous outfits. Now you can of course, like we said, layer up. So you can think about adding either a jumper over the top, or you could do a cardigan. Either one of those are fine. A cardigan can sometimes be a better option because it's easier to lay them down and then do it up rather than having to pull anything over their head. But either one is perfect. We want to be making sure we're keeping that torso and chest area nice and warm for a happy and healthy baby. Now moving on to some other Growsuit options, of course we do have footed options, so this one here is great as well. This one also has an inbuilt mitten, which is fantastic, and a zip through, so a dual zip, so you can zip to just to the middle and change the nappy, and you can zip all the way through to completely undress the baby. This has a safety cover as well to protect the little necks there too. So of course, once again, we can layer up with adding a cardigan or a jumper on top, just depending on what you prefer, and of course adding these other accessories where we need to, of course thinking about hats and things too. Then for boy, I've also got a Growsuit here. Once again, the footless Growsuit with the 3 little heads, which is lovely. And again, we can think about adding something like a jumper or a cardigan. This one would look gorgeous over this outfit here. And always thinking to add those pieces so that it just makes it so much easier if it does get a bit warmer to remove something to keep them feeling comfortable all day long. We've also got some girl options in Growsuits too. Once again, a footless option. This one's made out of a lovely pointelle fabric, really breathable. It does also have snaps at the back for easy dressing and snaps at the crutch too. And once again, we can think about adding other pieces if we like to make this a really warm, cozy outfit. So whether that be a jumper, or we may even like to use this cardigan at the back here. There's lots of different options there. Once again, we do have footed options. So this one here is great too. Once again, with those other features I explained in the other Growsuit before, with the feet and the dual zip and the mittens. So lots of different options when it comes to Growsuits, and they're such a practical piece because they're an all-in-one, covers up their legs and arms, and great if it is a bit chilly because we do have all of the extremities covered. Now moving on to 2-piece sets. So as you can see here, I've got this gorgeous little one here with a little legging and the cardigan. And of course we'd layer up underneath either with a t-shirt or a long sleeved top. So we could do this gorgeous little t-shirt here. We could add this one here, and then of course put our cardigan over the top for extra warmth. There really are so many options when it comes to little bodysuits, t-shirts, things like that, layering pieces that we can add and remove. Here's another example for unisex. Once again, a gorgeous little knitted legging, and then we've got here with a gorgeous jumper. Now these jumpers do also have the buttons at the shoulder. Again, easy dressing options, just being able to take it on and off really easily is really important. Then we could add a long sleeve top underneath for warmth, or we could do a bodysuit option if you like. It really just depends on what you prefer. And then we've also got another option here. This once again is for girls. So I've got the little ruffle bottom knitted legging there, along with this gorgeous jumper that I did show you earlier. And once again, we could think about doing the t-shirt underneath, and then adding either the jumper or this cardigan at the back here as part of that gorgeous outfit. So it really does depend on whether you prefer to use a cardigan or a jumper, but all of our jumpers do have the buttons at the shoulder or buttons at the back, so you can remove them really easily for easy dressing. Then for a boy option, I've picked out this gorgeous little stripy jumper here with a basic legging, and then once again we can do a long sleeve bodysuit underneath, or we could do a t-shirt. It's entirely up to you, but this is a lovely option. This is a great jumper for a dressy occasion as well. So again, these are perfect pieces to be adding to that sort of that trans-seasonal wardrobe. So we want to make sure we've got lots of pieces that are light enough but are going to cover up those extremities if it is a bit chilly. Another option too, if it does get a bit warmer, you could think about just doing a lighter weight legging. This one's lovely with a little monkey at the back there in the pocket, and then a stripy t-shirt because it's going to match back with lots of pieces, and then you could add a lovely cardigan to complete that outfit. It really does depend on what it is that you'd like, where you're going, what you'd like to do, but these sort of options are great. The darker colours are perfect if you're sending them to daycare and that sort of thing as well. Now another boy option here, I've got a little bodysuit. This is actually a bodysuit that goes underneath this beautiful little legging, and this also comes with a bandana bib, so this set is absolutely adorable and really practical for those trans-seasonal periods, because once again we can think about adding a jumper over the top if we like, or we could do a cardigan. We want to be, like we said, making sure we're keeping that torso warm, but of course having the ability to remove things if it does turn quite warm. So always making sure we've got lots of little pieces that we can add and remove where we need to. Another option for unisex or boy, I've got this gorgeous little knitted overall, which is adorable. Again, this does have snaps at the crotch, does also have little buttons there. It has adjustable buttons, which is great for being able to adjust as they grow. And then you could add this little basic short sleeve bodysuit underneath, and if we'd like, we can of course think about adding a cardigan, either in those neutral tones, or if we'd like, we could do a gorgeous little monkey one. There's so many gorgeous options. If it gets even warmer, you may like to, for boy, I've got this gorgeous little linen overall, and this one of course could be for a dressier occasion. It does have a beautiful hat to match as well. Thinking about sun protection during these times when it's getting a bit warmer is also important. So always thinking about having some sort of broad-brimmed hat when you do go out is really important. And of course you can layer with just a basic tee underneath, making sure we've got those sorts of items to be able just to layer a little bit more. When it gets to, I guess, the height of summer, you could remove this t-shirt and just wear the linen, this has a great crossback, this linen little romper or little overall. It really does depend on where it is that you're going and how hot it's going to be. But once again, this would look lovely with a gorgeous cardigan over the top. So great to always have a cardigan when you're going out and about really anyway. Now this is a lovely little three-piece set for girls with a lovely little headband to match, frills on the shoulder there, easy changing, we've got easy dressing and changing, we've got snaps at the shoulder and at the crotch there, as this is a bodysuit. Got this little pointel legging that matches, and of course again maybe we could add this lovely little cardigan over the top for a bit of warmth. They're really, like, if it's a bit warmer you could of course wear it as is, but if you'd like to you can always add those pieces like cardigans and jumpers over the top. Then a pinny is perfect for these trans-seasonal periods. Something like this one in a denim is going to match back with so many different pieces, and it would look lovely with this lovely little pointel t-shirt underneath on the days when it's a bit chilly but not too chilly. Very hot weather, of course, you can wear this on its own. If it's a bit colder, you could think about adding a long-sleeved bodysuit underneath, because again we're covering up the arms there if we need to, and think about adding a cardigan or a jumper on those days when it does get a bit chillier. Now we also have a gorgeous knitted overall or romper style here for girls with a lovely frills, and this does have a cross back. Once again, it just makes it so much easier because you don't have to worry about these little straps coming off their shoulder. And this does have easy access at the crotch, has a drawstring around the waist, and again we can layer up with this one. So we could put a lovely little bodysuit underneath, or we could do a layering tee depending on what look you're going for. And of course, once again, we could add a cardigan in this gorgeous little cream if we're looking for a dressy option, or we're looking for something a bit more basic. We could do this one here. There's really so many options there, but it's great to think about having these knitted options. If it is going to be a bit chilly, you could always add some stockings or tights or something with it as well to keep their legs a bit warmer if you like. And moving on to those really warm times for girls, when we get into the warmer days, it's a lovely idea to have something like a dress because we get a lot of airflow then. Our dresses in our baby range do have inbuilt bodysuits, which is great as well to keep everything in check and to cover that nappy up as well. This one comes with a lovely little headband, which is gorgeous. And once again, we can think about adding pieces to complete this outfit or to warm them up. If it is a bit chilly, we could add a jumper or a cardigan. There's endless options really when it comes to that. Then we have this dressier dress when they're going out and about for a special occasion. Once again with a bodysuit option, really easy to undo that bodysuit and make them feel really comfortable and keep everything from riding up as well. We want to keep that torso warm and comfortable at all times, and this does have a gorgeous matching sun hat which has an adjustable tie around the circumference of the head, so you can adjust it as well. And this is gorgeous for a really hot day or a day when it's a special occasion. If it's a little bit chillier on the day, of course, once again, you can add tights underneath, or to complete it, you can add a cardigan, either this brighter one, or you could go something a bit more classic, like the cream here, which looks lovely as well. Now, another thing to consider as well when we're dressing little ones all year round, but trans-seasonally, when it is quite chilly, it's really important to always have a singlet on as that first port of call if it is a chillier day. So something like a traditional singlet under some pieces, depending on what it is. A bodysuit singlet is also a good option without the sleeves, and we do have the long sleeve version for those cooler days as well. Another few basics to always have in the wardrobe too are a short sleeved Growsuit, something like this one here, because this is going to be so easy to wear on those days when you're just wandering around home or having a quick pop to the shops, that sort of thing. These sorts of Growsuits are so useful when it does start to warm up. And then you could go for something like a crinkle cotton, something that has the legs covered but not the top of the body. And then again, you could add a lovely little cardigan to keep that chest nice and warm when you are going out and about. And this again does have really easy changing options, has the snaps all the way through, which is great. It's a lighter weight fabric, it's going to cover up their legs, which is a great option. Then long sleeved Growsuits and bodysuits, and anything with a long sleeve is always good to be including. Something like this, a bodysuit with the long sleeves and the snaps at the crotch, is a great idea. And we have lots of Growsuits, but a bodysuit option just to have as a staple is always great. And this pointelle fabric is beautiful. It's nice and lightweight, and it's going to match back with lots of pieces. As well as a footed legging, this one is a beautiful one. Again, that pointelle, it's got a fold over bit at the top there to secure it. As we said, having little feet in can be a great idea trans-seasonally. You don't have to worry about losing socks and booties. So something like that is a perfect addition to the wardrobe. And thinking about including a vest as well. These are great to really have almost all year round, because like we said, keeping that torso and chest area nice and warm is really important. So adding a vest in to your wardrobe for your little one trans-seasonally is definitely a must-have. And then always great to think about having a basic track pant and track top, and then a long sleeve top such as this one here. So this is our gorgeous track set here, a logo track set. This comes in a number of colours, and this is a great staple to be having in their wardrobe trans-seasonally. So enjoy picking out these beautiful pieces for your little spring chickens and putting outfits together. Please comment below with your suggestions and ideas on what you'd love to include in your little one's spring wardrobe.